YouTube, welcome back to Maxwell Starr's Beer Review. Tonight we're going to take a look, or today, whenever time of day you're watching this, going to take a look at a beer from Greece, brought back to me from PEI by a friend of mine from New Brunswick. The fuzz brought me back a nice bottle of Alfa beer from Athens, Greece. This was available in the PEI LCC stores in Prince Edward Island. It is, of course, a pale lager, 5% ABV, brewed by the Athenian Brewery in Athens, Greece. This is ingredients: water, barley malt, hops, and yeast. So basically, your typical European pale lager. Given the ingredients list of, at least as far as what they tell you, it's at least as far as what they tell you, it doesn't contain any adjuncts. But of course, the beer rating sites like Beer Advocate will identify it as an adjunct lager. Whether it is or not remains to be seen. Anyway, let's pop the cover and take a look. Whoa. Alright, let's give it a pour here. I'll aggress with the pour. Fancy green bottle from a European country in a warmer climate. Usually you've had bad luck with the green bottles. One figure ahead, kind of like a golden yellow, straw yellow appearance, more to the golden side. It's almost brassy, and it looks like it's got some stickiness to the white head. And it looks like it's got a pretty decent head retention for a pale lager. Now, I've been smelling some skunky funk off of the top of this one the entire time since I opened the bottle, like as soon as I popped the cap. Now, it is typical, like if you've been storing the beer upright in the fridge, that the little bits at the top get oxidized or something by the light, and you get a little bit of a skunky aroma pocket at the within the gas in the beer. So, I mean, as long as it dissipates, it's usually not a problem. But in some cases, it could mean a skunky bottle of beer. Whatever. Let's give it a sniff. Yeah, that skunkiness is starting to fade away into a sweet, grassy kind of smell. Very faintly sweet. And it's kind of, that skunkiness, not so much skunky at this point, it's a grassy sweetness. It's sort of typical of your typical pale lager, European pale lager. That little bit of like typical Euro funk you'd find in like a Heineken or a Grolsch or something. And it's not offensive. It's just a characteristic style, characteristic flavor of like a European style beer. And well, so nothing out of the ordinary. It just had me worried at first, but you know, I haven't tasted it yet. So other than that, it's basically this little bit of like a sweet malt mixed in with this grassy, skunky kind of smell coming off the top, and the skunkiness is not very strong. I mean, the smells they're present, but they're somewhat in the mild side. Almost smells like a little Corona or Sol. You know, crossbred between Heineken or Grolsch. Anyway, let's give it a taste. The main body of it is a little bit on the sweet side, like a sugary sweet kind of taste. Although it is a mild tasting beer. It's almost got like a candy or a coffee kind of quality to it. It's almost like a little cotton candy-ish. But not in a cloying or overbearing way. It's more like this satisfyingly sweet, mild body to this beer. And a gentle amount of herbal, somewhat earthy hops, mainly this little light lick of like a earthy herbal hopness to the back of the mouth. And of course you get this kind of almost like a little bit of a pasty, a little bit of like a bit like a skunk kind of thing going on, which is sometimes found in your pale lagers, your European lagers. Maybe a bit of a touch of a brown sugar to that malt. That's not to say that it's an overly complex malt flavor to this particular one, because it really, I can't say it tastes like any kind of adjuncts at least, but it's not like it's a complex malt flavor. It's just that effort in trying to describe exactly what that tastes like. Overall, it's slightly heavier than a light lager. It's almost borderline medium or full-bodied, whatever you want to call it. And it's also not the driest beer in the world. I'm getting this lingering amount of wetness in the back, which obviously has a little bit of that hop juice in it, so it's almost seemingly like it's not that hoppy, but it lingers a bit longer than you might think. It's not like a strongly hop flavored beer as far as IBUs go. It's probably under 10. Just a slight lick of taste. Excuse me. And not to mention, it's got a fair amount of carbonation in it. It's the Belch. Interesting. Alright, well, I'm going to sit down with this one for a bit, and I'll come back with some thoughts. Be right back. And we're back with Alfa beer from Greece. So, what did I think? Well, it's not exactly the Alpha or the Omega of lager beers. It's somewhere in the middle. I'd have to say that it's probably closer to the bottom. It's mainly it's somewhat of an easy drinking lager, and if I were to have gotten this one a bit fresher, maybe it'd be a lot better. But the aroma really can be a bit of a put off to some people. It's not incredibly bad, but it's not really great, and the taste is kind of on the bland side. It leaves a little bit to be desired. I don't mind it. I'll finish drinking this, no problem. It's not like it's sink job worthy, but it's not something. Oh man, there's mushrooms. I get a little bit of a skunk in that burp. It's not like I would call it absolutely bad, but it's not absolutely great either. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. Almost a pass, but not quite. That would roughly be equivalent to like a 40% or 45, wherever you want to go. It's just barely it's just barely not a pass in my opinion. It's really, what do you expect from just a generic kind of European lager? I mean, weren't exactly expecting miracles. It's not something I go out of my way to buy again, but it is quite interesting to sit down and drink a beer from a different country. But as far as like beers that I've had from different countries, like Carib was a lot better. I think even Calic was a bit better than this. Calic was from, I can't remember. Anyway, all right, so 2 out of 5 for me. Neely hated this stuff. She said it tasted like rotten mushrooms. Right?
Totally does.
Totally does. You can have the rest of it if you want.
Why would I want to drink rotten mushrooms?
I don't know. You can have it though.
Why do you want to drink rotten mushrooms?
I don't think it tastes quite like rotten mushrooms.
Why would you give me your rotten mushrooms?
Why would I get rotten mushrooms? I assure you, these mushrooms are purely medicinal.
Yeah, that's what you keep saying.
Great. Alright, 2 out of 5 for me. Thank you for watching Maxwell Starr's beer review.
2 out of 5 for me.
2 out of 5?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Talk to you guys later. Cheers.